Greetings everybody, LVW here. Welcome to the second season of Noob Sauce, Minecraft for the Beginner. The series is designed for new players to the game, and yes, there are still people learning how to play Minecraft. Additionally, the series focuses on the Java edition, aka PC version of the game. We're using the 1.13 and above game mechanics. Noob Sauce is based upon the series created by Paul Soares Jr., known as the Survive and Thrive tutorial, which he started originally with the original release of Minecraft version 1. A lot has changed though since he released that tutorial. While the basics are still the same, there are a number of things that have been changed on how you play the game. So Noob Sauce looks at the gameplay from a survival, non-modded, meaning not changed in any way, version of the game in single player mode. Alright, so let's get started. After you've selected your single player tab, we get to this screen here where we get to create our new world. Alright, so we're going to click on Create New World. And in here, it shows world name. This is where you would type in whatever name you want to call your world. All right, I'm going to call this Noob Sauce. Now, this name will display on the file, and it also will be the file name, which is a more advanced thing that you'll learn much later on. There are two other buttons here. The game mode. There are different game modes. Survival is what we're going to be playing on, but you also have hardcore, which is an advanced way of playing that until you die, you play in the world. Once you die, though, that's it. You can't get back on the world. The world's done. All right. Then there is the creative mode, which is designed for just actually creating. You don't have to worry about mobs or anything like that. You have access to all resources, all blocks and stuff like that. You can fly and everything like that. Survival, though, is the game where you have to actually go out, collect resources, craft. You have health, you have hunger, you have to worry about mobs killing you or blowing things up and stuff like that. So those are the different modes. Now we're going to go over here to more world options. And in here, this is where we're going to put the seed. All right. Now the seed for this world is going to be that right there. So you can either pause the video or take a look at it. That's going to be the world seed. And we're going to want to make sure that the generate structures is set to on, because we do want structures to generate, such as villages, dungeons, and other things like that. Those are things that we use to explore. We're going to leave the world type at default. We're not going to change it to any other options. Once you get into the game, if you want to look at those other options, go right ahead. All right, I'm going to select Allow Cheats. Now, the reason I do this is because there are certain things that I have to do while I do like recording and stuff like that. I'll do like a flyby or something or whatever. Also, in order to get access to see what the seed of the world is, you need to be able to have access to these command lines. That's these like little commands that you see that like is examples down below this. So I turn that on. It basically allows you to, quote, cheat. Okay. Next is the bonus chest. I'm going to leave this off, but if you want, you can select this as yes or on, and it'll give you generally 4 torches and a couple items to start the game out, so you don't have to actually go out and make everything straight up from scratch. I'm not going to. We're going to create everything right from the get-go. All right. Now you can either click done, or you can go down here and click Create New World. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create New World, and we're going to enter the world. It takes us a few seconds to generate. Here's some music playing. It would be nice. Almost there. And we have blue screen. Aha. Okay, now we're into the world. Welcome to Minecraft. Now I'm going to cover a bunch of basics here, and then we'll come back and start the actual series after we get through all the basic stuff. All right, guys. All right, everybody. I'm over here in the This is actually a different world. This is a testing world I set up to test out designs and other little things, but I wanted to use this world to cover the basics here. Alright, one of the first things you're going to want to learn is the F3, which is your debug screen, also known as the HUD, heads-up display. Hit your F3 key and this will bring up this little command of various components and stuff for the game itself. There's a lot of stuff here you don't need to really concentrate on. Basically what you want to look at is, so you can see a little bit better. This right here, this is known as your X, Y, and Z coordinates. This is the most trickiest part for a lot of people because trying to understand the concept that this shows the placement of your character within the game. The first number is X, the second number is Y, the third number is Z. All right. As you move around, those numbers will change. So if I stay straight with a block, I move to the left or to the right, the X will change. All right. That's moving east to west. Now, if I do the same thing going forward or backward as I face this direction, which is north-south, the Z changes. Your Y coordinates represents how up or down in the world you are. So right now I'm like on level 68. If I go down one block, I'm now on level 67. That is how the X, Y, Z coordinates works, and you really try to learn as best as you can because you're going to get lost. And that's really the only way to find yourself. Another helpful tool that's in this screen is going to be this right here, light source. You're going to probably use this a lot for certain things that you're building because mobs will spawn on light level 7 and below. Most things will not spawn on it 8 and above. So know the difference. The sky means the access to the sky. So in other words, I'm reading a high 15 because I have full access to the sky here, which is the highest value you can have. But since I don't have any other light source here on the block that I'm standing on, the block source is 0. Now if I put a torch down, that will of course change. That's how you read those two commands there. Next up, we've got covering the character itself. Okay, let's take a look at the bar down below. The first thing we're going to look at is the health bar. That's these heart-shaped icons down here. There's 10 of these, which actually represents 20 health. As that depletes, you're going to die quicker. Essentially, that's all it really represents is your actual health. When it reaches 0, you're dead. Next to it is the hunger bar. A lot of people call these meat popsicles. That represents your saturation basically for healing. In other words, if you have a full health bar, you're good. You take a point of damage, you use up some of your hunger bar, it heals you. So you want to try to keep this as full as possible because if you get down a little low, you won't naturally regenerate and stuff like that. Activities such as fighting and other things will drain your hunger bar. We'll cover this as the game progresses. Underneath that is, you see this like little gray/green bar here? That's your experience bar. Now experience is used for predominantly enchanting and crafting certain enchantable items and stuff like that. Again, we'll cover that as the game progresses. Further down below that are 9 slots. This is known as your hot bar. These are pinned to your 1 through 9 keys, generally found at the top of your keyboard. So if I want to say I want to go to the number 4 slot, I just hit the number 4 and it automatically goes there. Number 2, number 9, all the way to the end. You can also use your scroll bar, or known as your third clickable mouse button, to scroll through it. All right. Next up, you got the inventory slots. Okay, so if you hit your E key, that brings up this character screen here. And in here, there's certain slots and stuff like here. This here is your inventory, your personal space, your storage, backpack, whatever you want to call it. It all means the same thing. It's 27 slots. that you can use to carry items on top of these 9 slots, which is your hotbar slots that we covered below. Now, in addition to this, you have your character image right here. As you can see, he looks around to try to see what you're doing. To the right, you have a 2x2 crafting grid, which is your personal crafting grid to craft simple recipe items. And we'll cover those as the game goes on. To the left of the character, these are your armor slots. Predominantly your armor goes in here. There's occasionally some other stuff that can go in some of these slots. Again, we'll cover those as it comes down later in the game. When you craft something, the crafted item comes over here into the receiving item. So if you craft, say, a torch, you put 2 items together and makes a torch, you take it out of here, put it in your inventory. This slot here represents your offhand slot. That holds, like, say, predominantly it was originally designed for the shield for the combat edition, but it holds other things and stuff. We'll cover that. This green book is your recipe book. We will cover that in the game itself as we progress into the game. All right. So next up, blocks. After all, it is Minecraft, which is a block game, are right here. They are measured by a 1 by 1 by 1, meaning it's 1, 1, and 1. Okay, that every block in the pretty much game is conceived of that 1 by 1 by 1. You as a character are actually 1 by 2. So in other words, you're 1 by 1 by 2 blocks tall. So my feet are on this block. My head is just at the bottom of this block there. So if I was standing here, I would actually be standing on my head. Okay, breaking a block is fairly easy. If you point at the block, you left click it, you see you're starting to get those little breaky points, and then of course it'll collect into your inventory. That's how you break a block. To place it, simply take the block where you want to point, right click, and it places the block. You can break most of the blocks in the game with your hand, although most are not collectible. So I can break dirt, I can break the sand, these flowers, this grass, that gravel. That'll all go into my inventory. But if I break, like say, stone, which is not really something around here at the moment, it won't collect because you have to use a tool to collect that. I'll show you that later as the game progresses. So there are items that you can break, and it'll probably take a long time to do so, but you can't collect them. All right. Next, we have the actual Minecraft day cycle. A Minecraft day is 20 minutes in total length. It's broken into 4 components. The day cycle is actually 10 minutes in length. There is a sunset or dusk cycle, which is approximately 1.5 minutes in length. The night cycle, which is approximately 7 minutes in length. And then the sunrise or dawn cycle, which is again 1.5 minutes. So for every 20 minutes that passes, 1 Minecraft day, bring up that HUD again, right here, where it shows you Minecraft day. We're on day 0 for this. After I pass some time, that will go up for each day that we exist in the game. All right. Okay, so let's get back over to the actual world that we're playing in. All right, everybody, welcome back. So that basically covers all the basics of starting a world, setting it up, and covers the basics of what everything is you're going to be looking at the immediate future. So this is our world, and we'll be exploring this and starting things off in next episode. I just wanted to say thank you, and we'll catch you next episode. You all take care now. Bye.